Some things that you can do with the SS Yoke bar in your training that most people won't think about. It can replace your barbell work, barbell squats, if you can't grab a squat bar, right? So there's the number one reason. If you don't have the mobility, you don't care to fix the mobility, or it can't be fixed, it can be put in to replace the barbell squats as a kind of a high bar. It can also be put in there if it's a power lifter or somebody that's pushing, training hard in the bicepial tendonitis. They're willing to deal with it for a few more weeks for whatever reason they're training for, and don't want to take the time off to let it heal like it should. It can be put in there, and it takes some of the stress off the shoulders as well. The other reason, just from a nerd programming standpoint, that I like to keep it into the rotation is you can change your overall workload without changing the intensity. By that, you have, I consider workload sets times reps times weight. So if you have 300 pounds and you do it for 2 sets of 3, right? So 1,800 pound workload total. Let's say that 1,800 pound workload is being done at a 60% range, which would be 180 pounds. So that's 60% at 180 pounds for that same workload would be, I need help with the math. I really need the dry erase board to be able to figure that out. Here's where I'm going with this is, let's say if you want to do 5 sets of 5, it's 60%, and your barbell max is 400 pounds that you're basing that 60% off. All that work intensity is the percentage of work, that 60%. Of that 400 is going to be, what, 180 pounds. That same 60% off a SS Yoke bar, if your max is 300 pounds, is now going to be less weight at the same intensity. So by the ability to change the bar and changing the max allows you to be able to train at the same intensity expressed as a percentage of 1 rep max for this duration of however you want to physically cycle this, whilst reducing the overall load of the training, which becomes something very interesting to think about if you start trying to stack different exercises. Say your front squat is going to carry a smaller max than what a safety squat bar max would be, which would be different than, say, what a barbell max would be. All of those can still all be trained at an 80 to 90% wave, if that's what you wanted to do, but yet you can vary what the actual load is while still working within the same intensity range. Where if you're a geek and you geek out on shit like this, is very interesting to be able to play around with, because it can allow somebody to train at higher intensity ranges for longer periods of time without beating the crap out of themselves while doing that. That's the SS Yoke bar.